Are you having fun at the Cosmic Summit? All right. I'm going to tell you what I think is an amazing story, but it is immensely complicated, and I'm going to just tell you one avenue of about 16 tentacles to this story. And I'm going to try to make it understandable, and I have somebody who's going to help me, Fiona, right? At the end, to critique me, right? Okay. How old are you, honey? You're 10? Perfect. All right. You know, that's the number of perfection in Freemasonry. So, there you go. All right. How many people have heard me talk about the Cremona Document before? Raise your hand. Okay, a few, but not that many. All right. So, we're going to talk about the Cremona Document, the Book of the Wars of the Lord, and something brand new that we learned about this year. And I'm going to tell you all about the Yeshua Scroll. So, let's keep going here. The Cremona Document is basically one of the main stories is about a 12th century Knights Templar mission to Hunter Mountain, which is in the Catskills of New York. And I'm going to introduce you right away to two of the most important characters in this story, Bill Jackson on the left and Don Rue on the right. Now, Don Rue is a very close friend. He called me yesterday with new information. It's not related to what we're talking about today. But when I talk about Don, I can't help myself. I have to talk like Don. So if I do that, that's why. Anyway, Bill Jackson and Don met when they were 7 and 11 years old. Bill was older, 4 years older. And they lived in the Bronx in New York. They both worked for what I'm supposed to say was a private security company. Basically what they did, this private security company was hired by our military to do things to keep us safe. And I've read the reports, and all I can tell you is these guys put themselves in danger just like our military does, but these guys are not recognized. Nobody knows what they're doing, but they've done a great job. And in my mind, these guys are American heroes just like our military. Don never married, so he was always available to go on the adventures with Bill. In 1971, this will make sense in a second, they discovered a 12th century Templar ship that had sunk on the southern coast of Newfoundland in 1971. They went scuba diving for that ship, and after 5 dives, they found it in 35 feet of water. And it's still there. In 1977, they discovered a tomb where the navigator of that 12th century mission that came to North America, I'm going to tell you more about that in a sec, is buried. Their navigator was named Altamara. She was a woman that they picked up in Denmark back in 1178. Bill Jackson is the one that purchased this document that I'm going to tell you about in 1971. In 1994, Bill Jackson realized that he was dying from arterial sclerosis and Parkinson's disease, so he sold this Templar document to the Vatican. I know, I said the same thing. But let me just tell you this, Bill is not stupid, or was not stupid, so hold that thought. In 2000, Bill passed away, and Don inherited all of Bill Jackson's research, all of his artifacts, and all of his documents that his son had in 2004. Now the story begins, the document story begins in 1968. And this is Bannerman Island. It's in the Hudson River, about an hour north of Manhattan. And it's called Bannerman Island because it was owned by a Scottish arms dealer named Francis Bannerman, who used to sell arms to whoever would buy from him. He sold both to the North and South during the Civil War, and then his son sold weapons to whoever would buy during World War I. He died in 1916. The castle that you can see there fell into ruins, and in 1958, the munitions that were stored on the island blew up, and they ended up in the water. So the reason that these guys would go up there to Bannerman Island is they would go scuba diving.